a lot of things that were different and challenging because we've never done specifically a commercial property with so many levels of approval, and being so unfamiliar with the Fishers Carmel area and what steps there are to do with that.
What's up, everyone? Tania here with PopCulture.com, and I'm so excited to welcome our friends. You know them as the mother-daughter home rehabilitation stars of HGTV's Good Bones. Mina Starsiak and Karen E. Laine are here. Ladies, so great to see you both again.
Lovely to see you again.
And thanks for having us. You're always a delight.
Oh, well, it's ditto. Like, seriously, you guys are so much fun to talk to. And honestly, congrats on season 7. We're finally here. 7 years of Good Bones, another 14 episodes for this season. Starting from the show in 2016 to now, what has been the most rewarding part about doing this series and then rehabbing these beautiful homes? Mina, let's start with you.
Oh gosh. I mean, I think it's just really cool to see it grow, like to see everyone on the production team, because we've had so much of the same team, to see everyone in the company, how Two Chicks and a Hammer has changed. When we started, I got, checks with our logo on it and thought I was like, okay, now it's a business. And now you'll see in season 7, like we actually have our business Forever Home. And, I have I match contributions for my 12 employees, like real business stuff. So I think just getting to see how everything has changed from 2016, when I think we probably all thought like, okay, this will be a season or 2. That'll be the life of the show. And now season 7 airing, filming season 8. We've got this spinoff that's going to be airing in a couple months. It's just not something that I think about very often because we're just going forward so quickly. But when you stop and think about it, it's like, oh dang, like this is really cool. So
yeah. Karen, what about you?
For me, the most gratifying part is when someone walks through a home and they feel like this is my home. But then also there's this larger scale thing that happens with TV. TV is a weird place. You probably know that. Yeah. We're on a set with our friends making TV, and sometimes it feels like, what are we doing? What's the point of this? Because I grew up in a household where if you were watching TV, you were an idiot. That was the idea. You should be reading a book. You should be outside. You should be improving yourself.
Yeah.
But every now and then, someone will come up to me or to Mina or to both of us and say, we were in the hospital with my mother, my daughter, whoever, and it's a really difficult time. And then your show comes on. And for an hour, we can just forget.
Right.
And we can just be with each other and relax and enjoy each other. And I mean, just remembering that, it gives me all the feels. And I realize how powerful a medium TV is. And it reminds me to always do my best, because there's someone out there watching this who just needs a little light in their life, right? They just need to be uplifted a little and feel a little better. And if I can do that for them, if we can do that for them, then TV is not for idiots. It is not.
Right.
It was wrong.
It's not. And that's the thing too, as an audience member, I feel like watching you guys 7 years into this, show now, for me, the rewarding part is seeing you guys both grow into this amazing business and this amazing venture of making these homes. And then also the emotional aspect, walking in, when we're seeing all these people walk into these homes, I feel like that's us too. We feel it. And we know exactly what their journey's been like, what the house's journey's been like. And it's just really nice to see that. And I think that's so lovely just to see after 7 years. But, let's talk about these new episodes, because there are big changes happening. And this season, Mina, you're focusing on ways to expand the reno business. So what can you tease audiences about this new direction, and how will this season differ from previous years?
The whole Two Chicks team just it's different. It looks different. There's different people. There's different roles. I went to school for general studies and got a business minor. And I don't like managing people. I'm not good at managing people. I'm a control freak. I want to do everything myself. And that's unfortunately not possible. And I started, actually before season 7 even aired, a 6-month kind of consulting process with a business development coach. And the timing was just amazing, because I had a few weeks with her already when things started getting really difficult in the season. There was lots of change in the company. And it has just, it's kind of like therapy meshed with business consulting. It's been really amazing. And I think helped particularly during the pandemic and changes in who was working at the company and, building our office and making all these big changes that also came along with really big financial commitments, made me feel better about doing them, feel more confidence in myself and the decisions I was making and, the direction I was taking the company and all that stuff. So it's been very much of a roller coaster, and you see way more of the roller coaster on the spinoff because they have the time to show it. But I think it's coming to a really good place with how the company's looking and what we're able to take on and manage.
Yeah. And Karen, I know that you retired, but you're still very active with the business. So like, has it been like, I'm wondering, has there been like, retirement, has it helped heighten your creativity? Because I feel like the last 2 years of renos have been phenomenal. I'm wondering if we should all just retire so our creativity sparks the way yours does. So like, has there been any challenges also? Because I know you guys are taking on a bridal shop this season too, which is one of the big commercial spaces, which is very fun to take on. So any challenges this season that we can, expect from you guys?
Creativity. Well, I find, so in all the houses we do, unless they get demolished completely, you're working within a prescribed footprint. And for me, having rules, like this foundation is the rule, helps channel the creativity, because otherwise there's just too many options. And with the bridal studio, it's the same thing. There's this space and we're working within this space. And how do we channel this person's vision so it's, you can see it in the space? Like, how do you do that? And I think being retired, I have a lot more time. I have a very interesting news feed. It's very curated for me. Like there's a lot of archaeology and it's an interesting news feed, but I read a lot of design blogs. I have a lot of feelings when I read other designers' opinions, but all of that stuff goes in this little weird mental Rolodex that is not organized. It is not. But we had a moment in the commercial space the other day where I don't know where these ideas come from, but it's from that time spent thinking, where you have a problem, we're looking for a solution, and somewhere in the brain is the answer. And here it is. I don't know where it came from, but here, it's for you. It's the answer. This is the solution. And so that, it makes retirement feel less selfish. Because it is very selfish. I'm really enjoying just doing what I want. Like sometimes I just read a book now. What? Like even the book reading, I find myself underlining things, making notes, and I have a little file that I keep on the computer because I'm like, wait, I know I saw somewhere about basket making. And so I'll search the file, this giant word file, basket making. I'll find the thing I was looking for. That's just an example. I haven't made anybody make baskets yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen.
Sure, it's in Austin's future.
Yeah.
Definitely get them on it.
I think I've read one book in the last 2 years, and it was Ashley Flowers. She sent it to me. All good people here. Got to give it a throw. It's amazing, but I read it in 2 days because that's all I could allow for book reading.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I know you guys are so busy for reading and stuff, but like that's the thing too with these home renovations and like this commercial space now. Like, what was like the major difference that you guys were like, oh, I didn't expect this to happen? Because obviously, I know Mina, you have your own store, District Co. in downtown Indianapolis, so you kind of already went through these like notions of like what to expect. But was there anything different with this bridal shop, especially like?
Oh yes,
yeah.
I mean, we own the building in Bates Hendricks. I mean, I own it. Like, you have to follow commercial code and like city ordinances, but Adrian's building is in a mall. Like it's a Simon mall. So not only are there the regular, it's a different county, so the county requirements, the code requirements, there's also this whole additional level of getting approvals from from the ownership of the whole mall area. And it's an outdoor mall, so it's a different vibe. Like, they all have their own frontage. So it was a lot of things that were different and challenging because we've never done specifically a commercial property with so many levels of approval, and being so unfamiliar with the Fishers Carmel area and what steps there are to do with that. And then just on top of that, Adrienne is one of my best friends, and she would agree she's a little crazier, just a little, but very, very similar as far as like how we run our business, women-owned businesses. And this is huge for her. This is a massive, massive step. She's going from like 1,500 square feet to, oh God, it's several thousand, and it's a lot of money. And this is going to be like her flagship. And I was just on, FaceTiming her on Sunday, and she's just crying in this face. I'm like, it's great. It's going to be great. I love you. So there's the design challenges, but also like I'm doing this with one of my best friends. I better not mess it up.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of pressure, but that's the thing too, like lean into the crazy and the chaos. It kind of leads you to like creative, unique space. So I love it. And I know that you guys are also branching out into the usual, outside the usual neighborhoods this season, which I love. And I love seeing like more of Indy. So was there a particular street or suburb that really caught your eye that we might be seeing more of in the near future?
We've owned a handful of properties in an area just west of downtown that I hadn't started on because there were several developments that were supposed to happen in a massive, massive chunk of land just north of this that kept falling apart. Mm-hmm. And so I kept being like, okay, we'll start. Like this development's happening. Oh, it's not. And two things happened. I ran out of properties, so couldn't hold on these ones anymore. And there's actually a development plan for the land that they've barely but broken ground on. Yeah. So it's definitely, you're not going to see a big difference probably for 3 to 5 years, but at least it's in that direction.
Karen, have you loved seeing like, the expansion? I know that you're very community driven, both of you are, but like, what's it feel like knowing that you guys are going to expand like all of Indy? Like literally, we're going to give you like the key of the city, I'm sure later on, like you guys are going to be like
I wish.
Yeah.
The neighborhood Mina's talking about, I'm just going to take credit for finding that neighborhood. We're not going to tell you the name of it because, the name is lovely, but as soon as someone knows we're working in a neighborhood, then all the money, the deep pockets, the big guys come in, and then we can't afford to work in that neighborhood anymore. Right. And it is a fantastic neighborhood for the reasons that all the neighborhoods we've ever worked in are good neighborhoods. It's close to the city, which is our wheelhouse. We love urban neighborhoods. It has a lot of distressed inventory that can use updating and needs updating. And there are neighbors who want to see that happen. And there's a great neighborhood association. And this is an area where I would love to see Mina branch out even more because there is a commercial corridor nearby that has some really beautiful commercial buildings on it that do.
I've tried and I'm still trying.
Yeah. I mean, and if I heard a story about Mina going to an auto body shop to get a piece of property this is a season 7 property. And there's this whole long story about how difficult it was to find the person, to interact with the person, and how apparently during the conversation, the other person does a lot of releases saliva when they talk.
That was for the Adlers.
Yeah, for the Adlers. And so she is willing to do a lot to get a piece of property. Like
I posted up at a very sketchy car shop for the better part of half a day because I wasn't going to leave until I got some human that could actually make decisions about this property. And it was a very, very long process, but I got 2 properties out of it.
So I believe in this new neighborhood, if she's working on these commercial properties, somehow that's going to work out. And 2 Chicks is going to be able to get some, and we're going to be able to rehab them, and we're going to get some more commercial businesses in there to help support the residential neighborhood because they work together. I'm really excited.
Yeah. And, between the voodoo dolls in season 3 and season 6, I know that there have been seasons where you guys have found some weird stuff. Has there been anything out of the ordinary this season that we can expect to see? And I know, Karen, you've mentioned poltergeists are real because like you've experienced them, or I think you know about them. So I'm wondering anything that we should expect this season.
I do.
It's a lot of the same usual gross stuff. I mean, like spoiled food and human things and dead animals. And I did find there was I don't know what a case is. Maybe it's like 48 eggs on a tray, 3 stacked deep.
Huh? Season 8, isn't it?
What?
That's a season 8 property.
Oh yeah, there's just disgusting, gross food everywhere. But came upon something like 100 rotten eggs under a sink with lots of maggots.
Yeah, the eggs weren't the worst part. It's that they were moving.
That's so gross. You guys find a lot of weird things, but I do love that there's a lot of shenanigans that happen with you guys and the crew. Who's the easiest to prank, and has it changed over the years?
Corey.
Yeah.
Corey.
Always.
Corey's very jumpy. He's very gullible. It's great.
But can we back up to gross things? Because I want to show you something that's not gross.
Oh, that's the kitty in this house. It's very sweet.
It's super sweet. And Mina, you don't know this, but Ginny Maxwell might give it a home.
Oh, good. It needs to, it's ear clipped because it's about baby making season for cats in India.
I think it's too young. I think it's only 3 or 4 months old. I think it's too young. But in any case, so not always gross things. Sometimes we find absolutely delightful, charming things.
Yeah. And some of the very delightful, charming things are also seeing the glimpses of family life. I love that so much. We get to see, Charlie and Jack, and we get to see also Roger sometimes. Are we going to see more of Roger in these seasons? I know we get to see Steve a lot, and Steve is great.
You will be seeing Adele. That's who you'll be seeing. You'll be seeing a lot of Adele. You will not be seeing more of Roger because she's so cute.
Really.
Lay back down.
And what is it like, Mina, having the kids on camera? Like, are they good with being on camera? Like, they don't even, I think, notice the cameras there sometimes. I feel like you guys are so evasive about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty much used to it. And I think Jack kind of hams it up sometimes too. He's at that age where he is really all about pretty girls or just girls in general. And so if any of the crew are around, he's just like extra hammy. And so he's almost 4. He's 4 next month, and Charlie's 2 in September. So they're both they're a hoot. I think our old nanny Hannah, they go home with her a lot, and Hannah broke Charlie last time she was there because she came back, and if I take my phone out to text, I have to back up. Even if I'm not taking a picture of Charlie, if I take my phone out to text, she goes, cheese.
So cute.
So she is all about the camera, ready for it, loves it, and they both just ham it up. So
they're so cute. And, I love talking to you two so much. But before I do let you go, I know that the show's premiering during the summer, which is the perfect time for a lot of us to be hitting up DIYs and even renovating our own home. What is the one big trend you each are seeing in home renovations this season that we should know about?
You go first, Mom.
So word trend is anathema to me. Like, I don't think there should be trends in homes.
Right.
Because homes are functional, and the form should follow the function, and they should be beautiful for the person who lives in them. And so, we have trends so people keep buying things, but why? So let me see if I can say this in a really positive way. So what I like to do is look at the trends and say, okay, which of these that we're calling trends are actually classic home features that have survived throughout the centuries that people still like and still enjoy, and let's adopt those. And so it may feel like it's fresh and new, but like white kitchens. My grandmother had a white kitchen. I loved her kitchen. I get tired and I give Mina a lot of guff about the white kitchens, but the fact is they are timeless. They always look clean. They always look fresh, and homeowners love them. Yeah. So it's easy to sell a house with a white kitchen. The other trend that people criticize that was never a trend is barn doors. Right. There are places in a house where a pocket door or a barn door makes sense. There's a reason for it. And if you use it in that way, great. If you're just throwing up a barn door because it's trendy, I get it. I get people criticizing that. Yeah. But I think everything in your home is like that. Whatever color you choose, whatever finishes you choose, if they suit your lifestyle and they're beautiful to you, then that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, it's true. Mina, what about you?
I think we try very hard to do the things that are trendy in non-permanent ways or in semi-permanent ways. So, the big things that are hard to change, like your countertop, your floor, even your tile, keeping those a little bit more simple and timeless. And then even if it's your bathroom faucet or your doorknobs, like those being gold, not wild, it's not cheap or free to change out, but totally doable.
If you want to go crazy and get matte gold fixtures, fine, do it. If you love it, do it, because it's easy to change. Not free, but easy. Like changing out a doorknob, easy peasy.
Right. Of course. It's very easy peasy. You guys are so much fun to talk to, and it's always a pleasure. For more with Mina and Karen and all things Good Bones, keep it locked to popculture.com for the latest.